Welcome viewers. The new monarch met with Welsh First Prime Minister Mark Drakeford at Cardiff Castle to discuss the country's future and William's new role as Prince of Wales. However, this video will explain everything. King Charles is said to be concerned about how the Brits will cope with the difficult winter ahead. Welsh Prime Minister Mark Drakeford said the impact of the cost of living disaster had become clear in a dialogue. He met the new monarch on Friday. Prince Charles, who ascended to the throne on September 8 after Her Majesty's death, was the first king to address Parliament. Mr. Drakeford said hundreds of thousands of Britons could fall into poverty in the coming months as the cost of living has been a major factor so far, he told TOW. He mentioned the impact of the disaster on the increased cost of living and how that will affect people here in Wales. Meanwhile, the King is becoming increasingly passionate about Wales' renewable energy era and how it can play an important role in the future of electrical safety. I have the new monarch concerned about how Britain will deal with the difficult winter ahead, he said, saying he no longer expects miracles from Prince William's new role. The Welsh Union leader added that we are not wasting a valuable and useful resource when some people can live without them. As always, I am interested in the renewable energy era here in Wales and how it could play an important role in future energy security. Drakeford said complaints about the investiture of William, the new Prince of Wales, would not follow the same structure as the 1969 ceremony honouring his father's title. I honestly don't think 1969 is accurate information about what will happen in 2022. Wales is a very unusual place. It was during this period that the nature of the monarchy began to take shape. My point is that all of this should not be rushed. As I said, we need to get the new prince to understand his new responsibilities and scale up the work in a way that works for him and Wales. And we can infer a need for ritual support similar to what has already been announced. King Charles III has been interrupted many times lately in meetings with the public and Cardiff. The population's wage ceiling has been frozen for 2 years to prevent further increases. But this has not prevented significant increases in living wages in the past. Last winter, the average household paid £277 a year in electricity bills. This winter it will be £971. Things should have been worse, but it's still a huge increase in housing costs for many households, and coupled with higher housing costs due to inflation that many are already struggling with. As the king queued up to shake hands and say hello, men in the crowd questioned the monarch about heating costs and tax rates for British taxpayers. Pay the royal family, he said. We've got to pay for your parade while we fight to keep the heat on our property. The taxpayers will pay you £100 meters. Why? The new king's answer to the question seemed to be a short and murmured "sure," or a word to that effect, as he continued to walk rapidly down the line, shaking hands with others. Ahead of the king's visit to Wales, Welsh Prime Minister Mark Drakeford said anti-monarchists had the right to protest as long as it was withheld. When it came to the anti-monarchy protest, he said on Radio 4's Today programme that people have rights and, given the current situation, I think they are being exercised with restraint. Drakeford is also known as a police officer who recognizes the rights of the people when dealing with opponents of the monarchy. The royal couple were welcomed at Cardiff Castle, but some protesters supported the abolition of the monarchy. Those who broke out were charged by a police officer who called Prince Andrew a former sick man. As for the cost of the housing crisis, some citizens, former royal workers at Clarence House who are facing harsher than expected winter conditions, have received redundancy notices. Price caps are frozen. Britain had previously been warned by experts that half of the UK's households would have to go without petrol. Freezing the price cap will help, but it won't solve a problem. Many people already have a shrink ranking earlier than expected. Electricity bills will rise in October. What is your position on this matter? Please let us know in the comments and be sure to subscribe as well. Many thanks.